Okay, so I wanted to raise issue related to the emoluments clause, soldiers working for various entities, or, okay, let's just get right into what the emoluments clause is first. The emoluments clause refers to two related provisions in the U.S. Constitution that prevents federal officials from accepting benefits, gifts, or positions from foreign or domestic sources without congressional consent, guarding against corruption and foreign influence. The Foreign Emoluments Clause bars officials from accepting anything from foreign governments, while the Domestic Emoluments Clause regulates the president's compensation from U.S. and its states. Now, are politicians, I would have to ask the question, are politicians under a domestic emoluments clause? I would ask that question. Now, the reason why I raise this issue is because currently at this time, with inflation and prices rising higher, and ever since the time I was a military spouse, a lot of soldiers have had to have two incomes in order to get by. So either both the wife and the husband were working in some aspect. It made it very hard and challenging for anybody to have children. Or for a wife, if you did have children, it made it hard for them to actually work outside of the home. So for the soldiers who go to work outside of the home and they're working on the domestic lands, they get a civilian job. And the majority of hospitality civilian jobs are on Wall Street. Now, the thing I keep hearing about is that with Wall Street, that China is buying up the foreign debt. Now, I've heard another scenario that China is giving the United States money, loaning the United States money to make products for the United States. And so that's something else, which is different from buying up debt. Now buying up debt, there's such a thing as what they call swaps, where there's people who are passing bad debt to Wall Street and then trying to make money that way. But the thing is, you didn't do business with Wall Street. You didn't do business with China. So when they pass it to Wall Street, then why should a company in the United States be able to come after someone, or a business be able to come after someone because of the fact that now they have your personal information? So through banking, then the United States military's personal information then is being passed to China. China has that information. It's the same identical thing as TikTok. Now, TikTok was supposed to be shut down. It's not been shut down. So they're saying that federal workers are not supposed to be on TikTok anymore. Well, how come federal workers are allowed to get loans from banks? That can be appropriated funding, because only military can get VA funding, which is Veterans Administration funding, to get a loan. The rest of America can't do that. So you can have federal workers who are taking out a home mortgage of some sort, and then that company goes bad or bankrupt, like the 2008 housing collapse, and then it ends up being passed to Wall Street. Because I actually had experience with that when I was married. I believe that our home loan was Countrywide, and it was passed to Wall Street in one of those bad mortgage swaps. It was passed to Wall Street. Then another company had to buy up Countrywide. I believe it went out of business. And so it's like then the company that you did business with then is no longer who you did business with, but you still owe the money back to them. So they get you refinancing every time. So related to the refinancing, when you refinance, you owe more money at the top, because that's how they have it set up, is that you pay the majority of the interest first. So if your mortgage is $600 or $700 a month, you're going to be paying $500, maybe $550 to the principal, or not the principal, to the interest on the loan. You pay that first, and then the rest of it, maybe 150, goes to the equity, which is the house. Now, so you're paying 3/4 of your mortgage to interest, and less of it to the price of the house. So how is that even right? So that's why I have to ask these questions related to civil rights and soldiers' rights, being violated with the emoluments clause, and then working for a foreign adversary who doesn't have your best interest at heart, which that would be China. And so through the banking industry, when bad debt goes through Wall Street, of course they're passing your name to Wall Street, aren't they? I mean, in order for them to get their money back. So then that means then a foreign agent from another country who is an adversary, even Russia, could maybe buy up your bad debt from your loan, or say your wife took out the loan, and then they know that he's in the military because they asked for all this personal information. They know that he's in the military, or he's a police officer, he's a fireman, and they send some henchmen to harass you. That's kind of the same principle as the home associations and what they do here in the United States. With when they see something on the internet and they don't like it, they're all too willing to violate your civil rights and go after you in some way. Because they don't like what you're saying, which then that in turn violates, it's a bullying tactic that they do, and that violates your civil rights related to the First Amendment. And so thank you for watching. Please subscribe, thumbs up, share this video with your friends, and we'll have some more thought-provoking conversation here again in the future.